Hello everyone, and welcome to the first recording of a vinyl painting. Today we are going to be painting a cat with some glasses on a record, and I'm going to show you step by step how we're going to do this. I am going to begin by painting the background of the canvas. I'm using acrylic paint just because I think it's easy to blend with each other and it also dries extremely fast, so it's easy to work quickly. So here I have painted the background, and while the paint was still wet, I took the end of the paintbrush and outlined the major areas of the cat that I'm going to fill in with paint later. I've started painting the background of the cat white just because it's the base color for the cat, and I'll go back and put in highlights and different colors later. If you pay attention to the brush strokes, I'm going in a vertical motion on the cat just to kind of go along with the texture of the fur. Next, I'm going to fill in the lens of the glasses for the cat with the blue. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I just want to fill in the base colors to get a general idea of how my colors are going to blend later. The fur has a lot of undertones to it, so I've noticed that there's red and browns and yellows in it, so I've started going over with red in the corner of the ears and underneath the chin to highlight features where there might be shadows with the fur. One way of blending that I like to use is with my finger, and as soon as I put wet paint on the canvas, I'll dab it with my finger or smear it just to give it a smoother look. Since darker colors are so bold, I've saved them for last, and now I'm going back in to blend them in areas where there might be shadows. Now that most of the detail on the fur is done, I'm going to move on to the glasses. I've taken orange as my base and outlined the shape of the fish in each of the lenses. I'll go back with reds and whites to highlight and contrast the shadows and highlights in each of the fish. Now I'm going to start outlining and giving more detail to the lens and pieces of the fur. I use a smaller brush so that I can get into the smallest pieces and get the most detail out of the entire painting. For the whiskers, I'm going to use the thinnest brush I have. I've put white on half of it and black on the other half of my brush so that when I go for my full stroke, there's a highlight and a shadow already incorporated in the entire stroke. All it is a quick flick of the wrist. You don't have to drag it, but it seems to look a lot better when you just flick your wrist off the canvas. I'm going to use the same motion for the hair above his eyes. Here's the final product. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you learned something new today.